Why, hello YouTube, this is Baylor Mage again, coming at you with our day 6 update for the build. I do want to mention this will probably be the last daily update we do. That doesn't mean the last update, but we're at the point now where upgrades from here on are going to be relatively expensive, and I don't believe there'll be enough of them every single day to warrant a video. So we're probably going to just stretch that to every 2 days. Which also means the point I'm at right now, disgustingly strong already. You really don't need to go any further than this. I'm gonna, because fuck you, don't tell me what to do. I'll do what I like. But we don't need to be any more powerful than this. I'm gonna push this to the min-max extreme because I just love this build. But big updates today. 1, our Merc got stronger. Absolutely love that. We'll go through that in a second. 2, the way more important bit, our Animate Guardian's back. We have Bob. We have an Animate Guardian again. I have it in the build without adding Spectres. We still kept the Herald of Purities. Our Animate Guardian is back today. I know everybody was waiting on that. He's doing fantastically. I love him. I can't afford a Kingmaker. We'll get into that soon. Let's jump in game and have a look through our changes. All right. So here we are, we can see Bob running around. This was my test Bob, so he isn't super overgeared or anything. He is wearing some pretty standard stuff. He's wearing the Dying Breath, he's wearing the Learcast, he's got a Doppelganger's guise on, he's still wearing the Asenath's Explode gloves, and he is still wearing a Wind Scream so that he can have 2 curses. That does mean that he's overlapping both my Merc and my Animate Guardian have an extra curse in them and the Asenaths. That's fine. I just wanted more explosions and better clear. I'm not going to change it. I'm happy that they can both do Asenaths Explode. Very happy about it. However, we did change some more things on the Merc. You'll see, unfortunately, this is the same Merc. I could not find one today after all of our farming that had Zealotry and Envy and Despair, which is what I wanted. The dream is Envy, Zealotry, and Despair with the level 3 increased effective curse support here. That would be the dream, but that is a big dream. However, because Envy is so strong, not only are we running the Victarios, which we were, I think, yesterday as well, for 15% aura effect, we also changed our Anoint to Influence, which is a gold oil Anoint, but it's another 14% increased effect of non-curse auras for the Envy because it's very, very strong. I did briefly try to wear a Jinxed Juju for another 15% increased effect. Unfortunately, I kind of need that Shaper's Touch regen right now for the Animate Guardian. So I'm trying to work around that, figure that out. I'd like to put this back on, but when I ran it, I tried it with the Jinx Juju. My Animate Guardian died in 3 out of the 5 maps I was running, and I didn't love that. So I ended up putting Shaper's Seed back on. Apparently, I'm just right in the area where sometimes my Animate Guardian will die and sometimes it won't. And if I lose Shaper's Seed, he dies. So I had to put it back on. We will want to change that into a Jinx Juju. The other thing that changed is I put on new boots. These are Blight boots. They are specialty boots that drop only from Blight. Generally speaking, they're pretty shit. They lock the base movement speed to 150%, which is a little fast. That's actually pretty good for our Merc, but it does basically nothing else of use except because it's a Blight unique, it can be anointed when it's not an amulet. So that let me put this curse back on. These boots are only 40 chaos. So I think these are pretty good for anybody who needs an extra anoint on their Merc. That's fantastic. Otherwise, everything else is the same. It's still just Learcast, Dying Breath, Asenaths. I got a new ring because I had to give up my boots. So I got a new ring that I had to pay 50 chaos for to get a little bit better defenses. Just to cap my early defenses, the chaos is low, but that's fine. Honestly, he's not dying anywhere, so I'm not really too worried about that one. Okay, moving on. what we did to fit in our Animate Guardian was we dropped Summon Phantasmon Kill and put in Animate Guardian of Smiting. It's still there with Feeding Frenzy and Cull. If I can afford a Kingmaker, which I can't, but if I could, I would actually put it in the Cull slot instead and keep Summon Phantasms for even more heals. That would be great, but I didn't do that. So here we are. I couldn't afford that. That being said, I'm using Animate Guardian of Smiting. I'm getting away with this just barely because of the Absolution's rapid spawning and using them to get a 5% heal. If you do not have a Svalin, which is most people, I would suggest using a regular Animate Guardian instead of an Animate Guardian of Smiting. Here is the big difference. Regular Animate Guardian's quality gives it 40% more minion life. That is a large amount of minion life, a very large amount of minion life. We only have 23k basically here. 40% more on that would be huge. You'd be up over 30k. All of the percentage regen works off that. So it's a really big deal. You definitely want to use the regular one to start with. If your regular one lives really, really well and you want to experiment, you can pop that gem out, put in an Animate Guardian of Smiting and re-res it. You don't need new gear. You can just change whenever. The benefit of Animate Guardian of Smiting is that he has about half a screen's worth of range, and his attack is a smite attack that hits in an area and covers more area. So he's a lot better at applying the Asenath's curse and having more explodes go off, whereas the regular Animate Guardian has to like run up and do this little cleave thing. It can hit a few mobs at once, but only in melee range. It's still useful. It's still quite good. It's still going to give you the buffs from its gear and all of that. So it's still fine. Animate Guardian Smiting just applies that curse better. So start with the basic one, change into the Smiting if you find your Animate Guardian to be tanky enough. Unfortunately, I'm still in the Dragonflight setup. We are doing pretty good on money, so hopefully I can change into the other setup tomorrow. I've been leveling all of my own holy relics to go double corrupted temples. That'll be something I do tomorrow. I've been putting off changing until I hit a 21, 23, mostly just for convenience. A normal 23% quality without hitting 21 would still have been better, and I probably should do that. Okay, next change. This one's cool. Because we dropped a link out of our 4-link for the Heralds, I was able to replace this entire wheel, 4 points here, with one single point, the Rune Graft of Treachery. Fantastic thing about this node is it's supposed to come with a downside. It's a 15% RMR node for 1 point, and it's supposed to come with a downside, which is auras from your skills, which affect allies, also affect enemies. One of the hallmarks of this build is that I got rid of all the auras. None of our auras affect allies. The downside's irrelevant. I had thought about using this earlier. It was not enough to lose this wheel, and therefore it wasn't worth using. As soon as my Herald of Purity became a 3-link, it was suddenly enough. So we took that, saved 3 points. Fantastic. Absolutely worth it. The other thing we did, this is a bit more on the expensive side. I'm at the point now where this was an efficient use of my money. It would not have been an efficient use of my money 2 days ago, right? Because these are 2.5 div each. But I also got the Rune Graft of Gemcraft, which is a +1 level of all non-exceptional support gems. This applies to everything, including our like Culling Strike and Feeding Frenzy and faster attacks over here, but also all the awakened gems. So our Awakened Unbound has 1 global, our Awakened Minion Damage has 1 global, our Awakened Void Manipulation got 1 global. So all the woke gems get it as well. The things that don't get it are your Empower Enhance. Those are the Empower Enhance, Enlighten. Those are the exceptional gems. Those don't count. Everything else does. I think that was pretty good use of my money at this point. Right. that, I think, is all of the upgrades. The other thing worth noting is we've been doing like full risk setup scarabs, 16 mod maps. They've been pumping out tier 17 maps for me, pumping out a lot of tier 16 maps that I get to sell for 2.5 to 3 chaos a piece, but in bulk. So some of them are 2.5, some of them are 3. But that doesn't sound like a lot until you know you walk out of every single map with 15 of them and they sell in bulk. I can also use them on my map runners in King's March, so that's fantastic. Making a ton of gold, really enjoying that. I've actually spent a little over 2 million today just rolling King's March guys to get like proper level 5 hopefully everywhere, guys. Some of my farmers are still level 4. But like all these guys are level 5 now, right? I got 2 of those. I got 2 of those running full time. I've even got 1 spare map runner that's level 5 here for whenever somebody dies. So we spent 2 million. I've still got 1.1 million gold here, which is 2 whole days worth. So that's fantastic. If you want a full guide on the strategy I'm doing, we could potentially do that as tomorrow's video if people want it. Otherwise, let's run over the path of building real quick. 2 things in here. One, we only gained about 1 million damage and a little bit of fizz hit today. That's fine. Made a lot of money. I'm still happy with it. Minions got tankier. We got Animate Guardian in. I'm happy with it anyway. But when I share today's path of building, I want to be real careful. Do not click these. Rune graphs, they say what they do. They don't show you what they do. If you click on it to unassign it, it'll crash your path of building and you'll have to open it again. So you can see their names, but not what they do. That we showed you in game. Hopefully that's enough. All right. Path of building will be in the description. I will see everybody next time. Bye-bye.